The first strike, arrogance in the stars. The first signal was not a warning. It was a death sentence. On the outer rim, in the quiet blue skies of the human colony of New Aegis, the night turned to fire. Alien battleships, sleek, scaled, and shimmering with arrogance, descended without parley. They did not demand surrender. They did not even announce themselves. Instead, they simply opened fire. Whole districts vaporized in an instant. Children asleep in domes, workers returning from the mines, ships still docked in their bays, all were torn apart in a storm of plasma and burning shards of steel. The aliens broadcast their laughter across open channels. "Earth breeds too quickly," one commander sneered, his words translated across every frequency. "Cull them, let them know their place, and if their vaunted council protests, remind them that civilization obeys strength, not sentiment." By dawn, New Aegis was a ruin. Its surface smoldered with the ashes of 3 million dead. The galaxy had seen this before. Species rose, species resisted, and then species were broken. It was a ritual to the invaders, nothing more. Humanity, they thought, would accept the inevitable. Mockery across the void. At first, the galaxy did nothing. The consortium of worlds, those self-proclaimed arbiters of galactic law, sent no aid. Instead, they gathered in their crystalline halls and laughed. Reports from human envoys fell on deaf ears. The aliens sneered at Earth's pleas, whispering among themselves. "Humans are fragile. They will not fight. They will mourn, they will grieve, but they will yield. They always yield." The invaders mocked Earth publicly. On broadcasts seen across the spiral arms, they showed hollows of New Aegis reduced to ash, splicing them with images of human children crying. They replayed those screams as if they were music. They called it the symphony of weakness. And the galaxy applauded. For they remembered a truth that was only half right. Humanity had ignored the call before. When summoned to galactic wars, when urged to choose sides in battles of empires, Earth had stayed silent. They called it patience. Others called it cowardice. But patience has a breaking point. The silence before the storm. The galaxy mistook humanity's quiet for defeat. But Earth was not weeping. Earth was preparing. Behind shuttered war rooms, beneath oceans where submarines slept, in shipyards hidden within hollowed asteroids, humanity moved. Quietly, methodically, without fanfare. New fleets rose from the docks, sleek dreadnoughts whose hulls were layered in alloys unknown to alien science. Engines hummed with drives that bent gravity like clay. Weapons, long untested, thrummed with restrained fury. For a century, Earth had been silent, but silence does not mean stillness. It means waiting. When the moment came, the order was given without ceremony. The channels that had once pleaded now spoke only 3 words. "We are coming." The answer of steel and fire. It began in the Asari system, where the invaders had made their base of conquest. A dozen alien fleets floated there, untouchable, or so they believed. The first human ships arrived not in warning, but in thunder. Dreadnoughts erupted from slipspace, dark titans with hulls that drank the starlight. Their silhouettes blotted out suns. Alien comms crackled with disbelief. Impossible, they weren't ready. How many ships? Count them. There is no count, there are too many. From Earth's flagships came no boasts, no speeches, only coordinates, firing solutions, and silence. Then the sky itself opened. Rail cannons fired rods the size of spires, each one screaming across void at near-light velocity. Alien shields buckled like paper. Planet-side bases cracked open as orbital strikes rained like judgment from the heavens. The invaders had brought warships. Humanity had brought annihilation. The day the stars went dark, the counterattack spread like fire in a drought. One by one, every system that had touched New Aegis burned. At Havar Prime, human fleets arrived not to negotiate but to eradicate. Soldiers, armored, silent, unstoppable, descended in drop pods that struck the ground like meteor impacts. Cities crumbled under the relentless march of infantry wielding weapons that disassembled matter itself. At Vera, alien fleets gathered to repel Earth's advance. They never fired a shot. Human stealth vessels were already among them, invisible shadows that detonated entire armadas from within. Survivors said they never even saw the enemy. At Drakthal, where alien aristocrats had toasted to humanity's death, Earth answered with firestorms. Dreadnought bombardments reshaped continents, vaporizing capitals into glass plains. The galaxy watched in horror as the tide rolled on, unstoppable and merciless. Human vengeance was not a roar. It was a silence so absolute that it devoured everything in its path. Retribution without mercy. What the galaxy had never understood was this: humans do not start wars lightly. But when they answer with everything. The fleets bore banners of black and silver, their insignias cold and unyielding. Soldiers advanced without pause, their faces hidden, their voices unreadable. They did not gloat. They did not laugh. They simply executed. On one captured channel, a lone alien commander begged for mercy. We yield, humanity stay your hand." The human response was a whisper, devoid of emotion. New Aegis did not yield. And the transmission cut. Moments later, the commander's fleet ceased to exist. The galaxy had thought Earth weak because it ignored the call. But in truth, humanity had been listening, watching, and preparing. Every insult, every mockery, every massacre. The patience of a species was written into every battle plan. Now that patience was gone. The fall of the invaders. By the third month, the invaders' empire was no more. What had taken them centuries to build fell in weeks under the hammer of Earth's wrath. Their fleets, shattered wreckage drifting in silent orbits. Their worlds, scarred, burning, stripped of command. Their people, broken, scattered, whispering in terror of the humans who never stopped coming. The galaxy had seen conquests before, but not like this. This was not expansion. This was not empire building. This was vengeance, pure and undiluted, delivered with surgical precision and biblical scale. Whole star systems fell silent, not because they were destroyed, but because none dared to speak. To speak was to draw attention, and to draw attention was to invite the storm. The whisper in the ashes. When the war was over, there were no treaties, no negotiations, no declarations of victory. The human fleet simply vanished back into the dark, leaving only ruins behind. Not a word was spoken, not a banner raised. Across the galaxy, survivors whispered among themselves. Never provoke Earth again. For they had learned a truth carved into ash and silence. Humanity's patience is vast. They will ignore calls to battle, refuse provocations, endure insult after insult, until the line is crossed. And when it is, there is no force in the stars that can withstand the storm they bring. The galaxy would never forget New Aegis, not because of its fall, many worlds had fallen before, but because of what rose from its ashes. A patience shattered, a vengeance unleashed, a silence so absolute, it became the loudest answer ever given. Final reflection: the infinite vengeance. The galaxy, once amused at human restraint, now trembles at human silence. For silence no longer means cowardice. It means countdown. A whisper spreads through cantinas, through councils, through every starship corridor. If humanity ignores you, pray they never answer. For when they do, the suns go dark and empires fall. And the stars themselves seem to mourn. Because the universe has finally learned. Humanity's patience is vast. But their vengeance is infinite.